So I got something a little different in this time from Old Tiger Imports. I took advantage of their recent Lee speed sale and I picked up a Lee Metford. The Lee Metford was the predecessor to what is known as the Enfield number one Mark I, which later became the Mark III, which is a more common variant. It took about a week to show up after I ordered it. It's pretty quick. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. You can see this has a brass butt plate. Looks to be in decent shape. Looks like the top screw either got completely flattened or it's like a nail that's in there. It's probably just a screw that got flattened out. You can see there's a lot of dirt here on the buttstock. I'll be curious to see if there's any markings underneath that. You see a lot of arsenal stamps or cartouches on these on the buttstocks. You can see it has a sling swivel here at the bottom. Moving up to the wrist, you can see some minor cracks here not to address. But they don't look too deep. I'll be able to see more of them once I get this off. So you can see here under the bolt, it's got the manufacturer and date. So you have the crown followed by ER, which is Edward Rex. So this was produced between Queen Victoria and King George. So typically you see a VR or a GR. This is actually ER. So this one's marked BSA, 1901, and it's got a Mark I star. So this was produced during the Boer War, and it's likely that the star is because they removed certain features. The bolt looks like it's in pretty good shape. It's pretty smooth. Now this doesn't have a dust cover. Sometimes you see a dust cover on these. This one is missing that. What it does have is the magazine cutoff here, which is pretty standard. It has the 10 round magazine, and overall kind of similar to what the number ones would look like in functionality with some differences. You can see a serial number here. It does not match the bolt. You can see the top handguard here has a little chunk missing at it and a small crack, but otherwise in good shape. You can see here there's an E stamp right here on the Knox form for the barrel. That means that this has Enfield rifling, not Metford. So combined with the LE stamp here, this is actually a Lee-Enfield with Enfield rifling, not Metford. So even though it was sold as a Lee Metford, it is technically a Lee-Enfield, but very similar rifle in other respects, except the rifling. Moving down the rifle, you can see the rear sight here. It's a little bent. I'll have to straighten that out, but it looks very similar to what the Martini Henry rear sights looked like. And you can see right here the finish starting to get worn. You can see it has some markings here. It looks like some Ethiopian markings. And the barrel band here is pretty much in the white. It does look like, at least from what I can see here, that there's more finish underneath the wood. It's very likely this was also the victim of the wire wheel. Moving down the rifle, see a lot of the finish is missing. Let's see, this is the bayonet lug. So go ahead and flip it over. It's looking at the other side. You can see it's got, looks like it had a rack number on it. Looks like there was some kind of design here. You can see holes, and then it looks like kind of circles around them. It almost looked like there was tacks in there or something. So it looked like they made like a cross or some other sort of pattern on the back here. See, moving up to the wrist, looks like there was some kind of repair done here. Looks like they just basically drove a nail through it or something. You can see this is the rear volley sight. Receiver looks to be in pretty good shape. I am pretty happy to see they didn't import mark the side of the receiver here. They do it a lot on their infields and it just looks pretty ugly. You can see the magazine on this side. A little bit of wear here on the wood, looks like, around the trigger guard. You can see another number is painted in the side of the wood here. You can see the distances here on the rear sight, as well as the rear volley sight. You can see it's missing a piece right here. Pretty much the same deal with the finish on the other side of the rifle. You can make out the import mark here underneath the barrel. Take a look at the other side of the rifle. Looks pretty good. The wood looks like it's in really good shape. I don't see like major cracks or damage to it. It does look like this sling swivel here was repaired at some point. Looks like that's like a weld. So overall, pretty good condition for a rifle that's over 120 years old and basically sat for an unknown amount of time in Ethiopia. I was certainly expecting a lot worse. I'm not sure what the bore looks like right now. I did take a peek down there, but it's just basically filled with grease. So I'll have to clean that out before I'll be able to get the side of the bore. But from what I could see, it seems to look okay, but I'll have to clean it out first to make a determination on that. So if you'd like to see more with this rifle as I clean it up, feel free to subscribe and sign up for alerts. I have noticed that there's no videos on disassembly of a Lee Metford, at least that I could find on YouTube. So I'll be doing a video of that. Once I'm complete with the rifle, I will disassemble it again and reassemble it and do a video of that. So those with Lee Metfords will have a guide on how to do it. And I'll do it in the same order that the original manual calls for it. So I should have some more projects coming in. I'll be finishing up this one. So stay tuned. If you have any questions about this rifle, about its service history, or any of the markings you might have seen on it, feel free to drop it in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching.